मकान एक बार गिर गए वैसे बनते कहाँ है, जैसे थे तूने अपने दिल से बनाए। वो कारीगर यूं हाथों से थे सजाए। आए ना तेरी याद उनको, आए ना तेरी याद उनको।
Thank you for joining us today at Midday, Anuv. My first question would be, when you're on the stage singing, you are just by your guitar. It's just you and your guitar in a relationship singing on the stage. How do you get that confidence from?
I think it's a very surreal feeling because honestly, I never thought that I'd do something like this in my life. I was supposed to, probably work somewhere like a 9 to 5 job or something like that. But I've just been thrown into the mix where I have to be in front of so many people day in and day out. And it feels very surreal, man. Sometimes, whenever I'm on stage and I just take a moment, I just take a deep breath and I just look at the number of people that are there, just the sea of people that are there. It just blows my mind, what is happening. I still haven't gotten used to it. But hopefully, slowly, it'll come.
Okay. I mean, it's like, oh my god, just one man with the guitar on the stage and so many people.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. Honestly, I hope people still like it. I hope that people like this entire setup that we have, because what usually thing that I do is that I try to tell stories through my music.
Yeah.
Right. My music is very simple, but the stories are very complex and very beautiful. So we've tried to keep it very simple. That way, the performance is very simple, but I keep on telling stories in the middle. I think it's a very beautiful, 51 hour to an hour long storytelling session, which I've been told that people really like it. So, I love doing that.
Okay. And your major connection, you are more not known, I would say, your major listening audience is more of the Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think connects to them?
I think if you actually check my demographics, it's actually millennials as well.
Yeah.
So it's a mix of both, Gen Z and millennials as well. See, exactly, yeah. So I think it's a bit of both. I don't know, man. I think there are certain emotions, especially love, is a very universal feeling. Heartbreak is very universal. Not being able to be with the person that you love is very, very universal.
Everybody connects to these
Everybody
feelings.
connects to these feelings. So these are basically very general feelings. It's just the way I try to explain them and express them. I think that's what attracts people to this entire thing, because everybody talks about heartbreak, everybody talks about love, but I try to go the distance and actually humanize the entire thing. And that is what I've been trying to do, that something that any person, this is my love is not something that's very grand. My love is something that's very simple, very raw and very human. And that's what I try to do. And till now, people have really appreciated it, and I think they have really connected to the entire thing.
And with that, and that works more, I think, because of the personal touch that you give to it, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Because I always write about myself, and everything that I've written so far, like I said, has always been about me and about the way I have felt for people. So, and I'm a very simple guy, man. I don't really carry these crazy emotions or these unique emotions. I'm someone who's very simple and very in a very general sense. So I think that really helps reaching the masses, I guess.
And as an indie artist, there's a lot of different indie artists, and at this particular time of our lives, you have different bands. I mean, I remember there's an interview where you mentioned you started with the local train and the song Cholo. That's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah.
So listening to all of those guys, and those are great performers, great artists,
Yes.
What do you think works? How do you think indie music survives or indie artist survives?
See, if you talk about in the sense that with people, I feel that a lot of independent music, because there are no record labels on top of people.
Correct.
So I think, in a certain way, I'm not saying that everybody's like this, but in a certain way, I think the music is a lot more raw. And I really think that people have started to enjoy and appreciate it a lot more. And I think that's how indie music is surviving with people. But if you were to talk about quantitative sense, how are they earning money and all of that, I think when you're an independent artist and you find your audience, through social media, you keep on promoting yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's the best marketing.
That's how you maximize your
That's
reach.
how I maximize my reach as well, through social media. I kept on playing these live streams for people, and I kept on interacting with people, and I built one single person I added to my entire family, and and now we are here right now, and I've built this beautiful community and family. I think people can really leverage that. And that's how people are doing it right now. They're using social media to promote themselves and put themselves out in the world. So once you are an independent artist, you own your music, 100% of the royalties. That is one way to earn music and earn money. And obviously, you have shows and all that you can do eventually. So yeah, that's a few ways, in which we are surviving.
Well, you've been a man who's been under the Forbes 30 under 30 list as well.
Yes.
And you put up an Instagram post where you mentioned that, you were very glad about it, of course. And you mentioned, but, few years back from that time, you felt that you would, you felt a bit lost in a particular point of time.
Yes.
How did you help yourself get out of that?
See, when you are when you hit rock bottom, okay, I think there's no way but to go up, I guess. And when you realize that, okay, this is it, either you fix your life right now or you just let things be the way they are. I think, and you really work towards, fixing your life. I think that's how I pulled myself through it, because I was going through a very difficult time. Like I said, I was very lost a few years ago, and I had no idea what I was doing with my life, and I had absolutely no clue what I wanted to do next. I think just music just found me, man. Like, I've been doing this for such a long time, but that was something happened. Like, I don't know, the universe just helped me out, and everything just started to fall into place. And yeah, man, things just took off, and I'm so happy that they did, because I was really lost, and things are so different now. And I'm still lost sometimes, but in a good way. I think I'm still working towards becoming better every day, but I'm just so happy that I get to do this.
Being lost in that particular phase got you to the space you are right now. I think it's good to be even be lost at times. It helps. It helps out.
See, the thing is that I think everybody in their lives are gonna find themselves, at this junction, where they are lost. Every person that I know so far, and I've known quite a few, they've all found themselves, at this crossroad when they're just so lost, and every road feels like it's not going to lead to anywhere. But trust me, there is one that will really get you out of this rut and really help you excel in life. I think I found the right one, hopefully. So yeah, I'm really happy.
You become that lover boy for all the people right now, especially girls. I'm like, oh my god, Anuv Jain, he's like so cute, and you have that lover boy avatar that people think of. How do you feel about that?
About the female attention?
Yeah.
Give me more. I absolutely love it, man. There's nothing better than this. But yeah, I think just the attention in general, I love it, because that means that my music has hit the right notes and it's resonating with people. So I think that's something that makes me really happy. And when it comes to women, I think, bro, they have a very weird way of loving, right? And they have a very soft and a very beautiful way of loving. And I love my female audience as much as I love
So you agree you're that lover boy? You feel that you have that feel?
I think I would say that yes, I am a little romantic in my personal life. I mean, I do like to do certain kind of gestures that people normally wouldn't do. And that way, yeah, you could call me one, but I am a realist as well. I'm a very grounded person, even when I love people. So I think I'm a bit of both. Maybe I'm just a boy who likes to love people.
But you've given us songs like Mishri, Si Teri Baatein Hain.
Yeah.
So I think that also signifies that you are that romantic person that oh my god, yeah, he sang this song. How far could you think?
Listen, I write songs for people. That's the most romantic thing that you can do for people. Okay, so I guess yeah, I am a romantic at heart.
Okay, and people post different comments on your photographs and whatever posts you put up. And there was a post where a person wrote about you have no idea how you light up people's lives.
Yeah.
What do you feel about that? Getting that sort of an attention. How do you feel to be that person?
Yeah, I'll be very honest. Like I said, earlier, I haven't gotten used to it yet. Because I'm a very simple guy. I come from a very simple family. And, being able to reach people like that, it's just incredible. I never thought that I'll be able to do something like that. And it's something that I'm still getting used to, because I'm constantly moving to the next thing. Unfortunately, never have had the time to actually sit down and reflect. But hopefully after a few years, when I hang my boots or something like that, maybe after 10 years or something like that, and I look back at all the things that I had done, I go through all the comments, I will go through all the messages. That's when I'll probably just sit down for a moment, and I'll feel very happy that okay, I did this. I kind of went into people's lives and maybe helped them just feel a bit better. So that would make me very happy.
And the song Mola, you were singing in a bit of Punjabi as well in that song, right? Yes. So, do you plan to sing more of Punjabi songs? Like, for example, you have Diljit Dosanjh, Ik Kudi.
Yeah.
It's a proper soulful Punjabi track.
Yes.
Do you plan to, experiment with those kinds of songs?
I would love to, man, because I'm a Punjabi. I come from Ludhiana. So, I am a Punjabi, and We studied Punjabi in school as well, and I would love to sing in Punjabi. It's just that right now, I think the way my brain functions is because I write for myself. The way my brain functions is that it thinks in Hindi,
Correct.
right? So if I'm thinking in Hindi, then it becomes a little difficult to like shift to other languages. But hopefully, if someday I get get a really good idea which is in Punjabi, I would love to experiment with that. I would love to try it out. But I think right now, I guess I'm okay with Hindi. But let's see. You never know with me.
And do you plan to sing for, if you get a chance, would you sing for, producing a song or singing for movies?
Of course, yes. Of course. We've all grown up, watching films and watching Bollywood and, watching all kind of cinema that there is. And I would love to sing for movies one day. A few opportunities have presented themselves, but, I just felt that I was not the right fit because I have a certain kind of way of making music. But hopefully one day I will find a right fit and hopefully I'll be able to sing for something very beautiful. But till then, I'm going to write for myself and I'm really happy. It's okay.
In the past you've always said that you're a very shy person.
Yes.
Do you still feel the same way?
I think I've changed a lot as a person now. I used to be very shy. I think I've become much better. But I do go into like these zones where I do tend to, just hide myself and I just disappear because I just don't want to be out there that
You
much.
hibernate.
I do hibernate, yes. And that's a very sad thing with me that it happens very regularly and very frequently because I get drained, bro. Like, I'm not a very, very social person. It's the irony of my life that this is the kind of a field where you have to be very social. But I've never been very social. I've always been like a shy kid who stands in the corner, like I just like look at people and that's who I've been. But I'm trying to change myself because I understand that, just because I've been that way, that doesn't mean that I always have to be that way. It's always better to, go out there and meet people and, build connections and, just be friends with people. So I'm trying to change myself. But let's see, where do I end up eventually?
I mean, you got to experiment and, those experiments leads to a lot of learning.
Yes, that's
For
true.
sure,
That's
right?
true. Whenever you're talking to people, you do learn so much.
Yeah.
Every time I come to Bombay and I meet, musicians and like I'm surrounded by musicians, it feels like I have learned years worth of things in just a matter of a few hours whenever I have a conversation with them. So yeah, that's something that I really like doing. I should just probably stop hibernating that frequently and just, just be out there.
You should take your time for it.
Yeah, I guess, yes.
Okay. And what about traveling? You've always been traveling a lot. So how do you? What's your take on that?
So I have not always been traveling. I was actually pretty much in the same place for the longest time in my life. But now in the last 3 years, I have actually been traveling a lot. I've probably taken I took 100 plus flights last year, which was just insane to me. I was just thinking about it. I was like, oh dude, that's like crazy. That's like a flight in almost every 4 days, which was insane. But I love traveling, man. I think I've really gotten used to it. You rarely get sleep, which is a bit of a bummer. But I think just being in a different city every day, meeting so many different people from different backgrounds and cultures, just like really opens up your mind. And I'm so lucky to get to do this, that I get to travel so much.
I have a question in regards to your friendship with Zayden.
Yes.
Our great singer Zayden. Please reach out to us as well. So, in regards to that, are you guys ever trying to, or planning on a collaboration together?
Zayden and I mean, obviously he's a friend, so it's very difficult for me
What's
to
your
say.
history
With,
of friendship with Zayden?
Okay, so first of all, like it's very difficult for me to call him Zayden
Zayden,
because
Sahil.
it's Sahil. Right, so like for me, he's Sahil,
Yeah.
and it's very difficult for me to like say Zayden. But Sahil and I, we met a couple of years ago because obviously we are under the same management.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we were the first few artists that were signed by the management. So obviously, like we started getting to know each other and became really good friends, like brothers, in fact. And I think the way our taste is and the kind of music that we would want to make together would be very similar, even though we come from very like slightly different genres. But we would love to experiment because he was a DJ before and he loves music, the music bit, and I'm a songwriter, so I love writing. And I think if we come together and combine the best of these both worlds, I'm sure that we can work on something really beautiful. We've just like laughed it off and just like spoken about a collaboration. But there's nothing on the cards right now.
Right
but
now.
like hopefully one day when we both are a bit more free and we are chilling and all of that, maybe we'll come up with something. You
I
never
think
know.
you should
We'll just
really
surprise
work
the
on that. I
people.
think the audiences and the listeners and the viewers, everybody will like, oh God, this is happening. We can't. The day you put up a post about this, I'm sure people are going to go mad.
Yeah, I think it'll be a project that will stem out of a lot of love that we have for each
Yeah.
other. Because, I've been very lucky to share a stage with him multiple times. And, like sometimes he's gone before, sometimes I've gone before. And, like we've just spend so much time together now. I think we just, whenever we sit down, it won't be for the numbers. I think it will just be for our love of music. I think that's what it would be.
I hope even we get the chance to maybe someday interview Zaden and you together and talk about your friendship and your bond.
Let's see.
Like
let's
the
see how it
perfect
goes.
story, you know, to get to
Yeah.
know the friendship between the two of you.
That would be great.
Okay, and what about your fashion sense? Where does that come from? Do you have any inspiration for that?
I don't really have an inspiration for my fashion sense. I'm just like trying to experiment right now a little bit more. I'm trying to like just get used to wearing. So I have always worn black, right? That's like my go-to color.
Black or white?
Black or white, yeah,
Yeah.
like just both of them, right? And everybody knows me as the guy who just wears black hoodies, but I have become so much more now. And I'm experimenting every day, every day, every day. The people who've been following me for a bit, they know that I'm not there yet. I mean, I'm still improving. But I have come a long way from, like this guy who used to tuck in his shirt and wear a belt and go to office and, like wear jeans and sneakers and all. I think I've become much better now. But I think it's a learning process. You just get better and better and better at it. And I think I've made very huge strides in the last couple of months, which people will hopefully see very soon.
In VH1 Supersonic, when you're talking about your fashion sense, it just crossed my mind how you reminded me of SRK in Mohabbatein.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you were wearing this white shirt,
Yeah.
and within that you had a white t-shirt and a black trouser with a belt.
Yeah.
And that guitar. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but Mohabbatein, there is this. I'm not sure if I remember the movie right. I hope I'm not wrong, but you know that there's that vibe that he's singing like that.
Maybe, you never know. I'll take that as a compliment.
And even Michael Jackson, for a fact, in one of those tracks.
I think Michael Jackson was a bit more flary. I think I'm like very grounded, but I'll still take both of these as a compliment. Like I said, I'm like still trying to like experiment with my fashion sense. I started wearing pants. Like I've replaced jeans and I started wearing pants, and I think I've improved a little bit. Like there's jewelry and all now, so I think I've improved a little bit. But there's such a long way to go, man. This is something that's like just so huge.
There's a lot to explore in terms of fashion.
There's too much to do, and
but you enjoy it.
I love it. I love it, and I have every day I fall more and more in love with it. Or however you say it, but I've just like fallen in love with it, and this is a space that I really feel that I can really do very well at and excel at, and I'm learning every day, and like I said, let's see how it goes.
Well, saving the best question for the last, what are your future plans like when it comes to your career? Like, what do you plan to experiment with or something? You have anything in mind?
Yeah, so the next song that I'm going to be working on is like the most experimental song that I'm going to be coming out with, and that's something that is like a very huge leap for me. I want to release a lot more music. I want to become quicker at making music, but not compromising the quality. And I genuinely feel that I can do that. I just need to stop lazing around, I guess. I would love to integrate fashion, in this entire thing, because that's something that I'm really looking forward to doing, and that's something that really interests me. And I would love to, go into that field and, try a few things out there. And yeah, man, I just want to improve everything that's already there. I just want to like improve it, and just like make everything better. And that's what I want to do.
All right. On that note, we've come to an end of this conversation, which I would have wanted that never ended. But thank you for joining us today at Midday. Anuv, we are so glad that you were here with us today.
Thank you so much. This really means a lot. Just having me here, it's just the best thing ever. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.